Hello. This is Antya from Byte Shuffle. Thank you as always for watching my videos. This time, I've put together a guide on how to approach the BG Hogaak matchup when playing Ad Nauseam Tendrils, as well as my thoughts on sideboarding. It's a bit old, but there's a video about the basics of Ad Nauseam Tendrils linked in the description, and at the end of this video. So feel free to check it out if you're interested. Here is the deck list we will be using this time. This hand is a little awkward, so I'm considering a mulligan, but it looks like I can smooth things out with my card draw spells, so I'm going to keep it. Surveil's effect leaves it on top of the library. Since I can play around days, I'm deploying Wishclaw Talisman first. It doesn't look like they're on a deck with blue counter spells. I'm going to dig for some mana acceleration. I put them back in the order of Tendrils of Agony first, then Infernal Tutor. Surveil's effect leaves it on top of the library. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I'm going to dig for some mana acceleration. Didn't find it, so I shuffle. I'm going all in from here. I search for Cabal Ritual. I'll increase the mana needed for the combo. Now that I have enough mana, I'm going to build up Storm and try to win without going through the graveyard. I win with Tendrils of Agony. Before sideboarding, I'd like to review the list we used. First, the conclusion. I will explain it step by step. These are the key cards from BG Hogaak that impact Ad Nauseam Tendrils. First, we have discard spells such as Thoughtseize and Inquisition of Kozilek. We deal with this by using our card draw spells to rebuild our hand after the opponent strips away our combo pieces with discard. Next, we have hate pieces such as Disruptor Flute and Damping Sphere. To deal with these, we bring in Hide on the Ceiling, Heritage Reclamation, and Abrupt Decay. In exchange, we cut Duress. This is because most of the opponent's threats are the kind of cards they just slam into play, which means discard often lines up poorly against them. However, we prioritize keeping Thoughtseize, since it also helps against Endurance, which I'll discuss shortly, as well as Mindbreak Trap, which I won't be covering this time. Additionally, we trim down on Veil of Summer. At this point, some of you might be wondering why we would trim Veil of Summer even though the opponent is playing discard spells, so let me explain. My impression is that the opponent usually runs around 4 discard spells. Veil of Summer is useful against discard, but since the opponent isn't running counters, we can often just sculpt our hand with draw spells on the combo turn and go for the win instead. Of course, if the opponent appears to have a heavier discard package after sideboarding, the value of Veil of Summer definitely goes up. That said, personally, I don't think Veil of Summer is necessary, since its applications are fairly narrow. However, if Orcish Bowmasters is on the battlefield during the final turn, it becomes much harder to sculpt our draws, so this time I decided to keep a few copies in. Next, we have graveyard hate cards such as Nihil Spellbomb and Endurance. Among these, Nihil Spellbomb can be searched up with Urza's Saga's Chapter 3 ability. As a result, my impression is that the graveyard tends to get locked down fairly consistently. Therefore, in this matchup, the ideal game plan is to go for the combo without relying on the graveyard. I'll keep this hand, since it looks like I can go all in early. I'm digging for a combo piece. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. I'm digging for a combo piece. Surveil's effect sends it to the graveyard. It doesn't look like we can afford to pass the turn anymore, so I'm going to use my card draw spells to look for a win condition. I put them back in the order of Heritage Reclamation first, then Brainstorm. I'm digging for a combo piece. Didn't find it, so I shuffle. I'm going all in from here. I'll increase the mana needed for the combo. I'm building up Storm. I put them back in the order of Dark Ritual first, then Lotus Petal. I win with Tendrils of Agony. Thank you very much for watching until the end. I apologize for the many misplays along the way. I hope we can all continue to improve at Magic together. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. I'll see you again in the next video. This is Antya, signing off.